Hi everybody, let's talk about perfumes. Today I have a couple for you that I would like to discuss. Again, I'm not going to read notes, I'm going to talk about the spirit in which the fragrance was constructed, practical issues like longevity, sillage, and distinctiveness of the fragrances as well. So we'll start with a fragrance that lacks in one department but makes up for it in another. It is Lovestruck by Vera Wang. You see that I pretty much halved my bottle at this point. This is a very interesting beast. So this is the kind of girl that you'll pass in the hallway and not notice she's there. But then once you talk to her, perhaps you'll find something new and interesting and exciting for yourself. And you'll think to yourself, hey, why did I never notice her? She is not the typical fragrance that I enjoy. Let's discuss first the bottle. This, I think, is a love it or hate it kind of situation. I don't think this kind of packaging is for everyone. This is not particularly my cup of tea, but I don't mind it. Like I'm not so massively into packaging that it can offend me unless it's very cheaply made. Now this is kind of cheaply made in my opinion. These flowers are kind of, once you look closely, aren't very good quality. The bow is cute. I'm not sure what I feel about it. The writing over here, Lovestruck, Vera Wang, and the arrow in the front are purpley pink. This bottle is 50 mils. Now about the fragrance itself. This is very interesting because it is basically a skin scent, but it's not poorly lasting. Very surprised about it. So yes, it evaporates very quickly. You do need to load up on this fragrance for it to last for a few hours. However, when you load up, you're not going to get overwhelmed or overwhelming towards your fellow workers or neighbors who might not be such a fragrance enthusiast and might suffocate a little bit or have an asthma attack. We want to avoid that as much as possible, which is why this is a very good, very safe fragrance for the office. It's very appropriate for the office. In fact, it's difficult for me to say what this fragrance is not appropriate for. It's very light. Like I said, it's kind of more of a skin scent, unless you really load up, in which case it's pretty much still a skin scent, except it's longer lasting. This is why so much of the bottle is gone. I do have to load up. But I don't tend to reapply very much, not until the maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I apply it at around 6:37 in the morning. So this is an interesting guy. It is very gentle. It has some kind of a maybe dusty quality to it that is incredibly interesting for a Vera Wang perfume. Usually Vera Wang makes things that are very unobjectionable, which this one is unobjectionable for sure. This one has an interesting chord to strike. It is a little bit dusty, not powdery as much as dusty, and it's a very, very fluffy pâtisserie. Something very, it's a gourmand dessert. It's very delicious, but it's very light. It's not the sugar that is going to like break your neck with its sweetness. It's more of a fluffy, light, somewhat creamy quality to it that does not annoy me. I'm not a big lover of sweet fragrances, but some of the ones that I'll speak to you today are going to definitely be sweet. In any case, this is an interesting find. I would say if you are into unobjectionable, office-appropriate, feminine, and cute scents, this could be something to check out. It is primarily a sweet scent with a little bit of a dusty quality to it. A bit of floral, but really not much. It's kind of very safe. So this is something to look forward to sniffing in case you're interested. Next one follows its footsteps very, very closely. First of all, we have the packaging. This is Marc Jacobs Violet. This is a limited edition perfume. As far as I'm aware, it's a Travelers exclusive. And this is, I mean, again, packaging is either you love it or hate it. I don't feel particularly one way or another. I'm not insane for sweetie kitty packaging, but it's pretty cute. I mean, It's pretty adorable. The bottle itself is clear. This is a 15 ml as well. It has a gold plate here that is, I believe, metal. Maybe it's some kind of a foil. It has a gold neck, and the little butterflies have a bit of a multicolored effect to them and a pearl in the middle. Either way, I do actually think that the packaging is pretty cute, although it's not to my particular taste, but I can appreciate it. Marc Jacobs does do interesting packaging. Normally, I'm not really into Marc Jacobs perfumes. They're not my favorite scents right now, at least. I've tried and tried and tried to like some of them, but it hasn't happened. There hasn't been a click where Marc Jacobs fragrances and I have a romance going on. This, however, is a different story. This is a little bit something else. In many ways, it's like Lovestruck by Vera Wang. Why? Because it is also a bit dusty. It is also a bit sweet, although it's a different kind of dusty and a different kind of sweet. The packaging is just as adorable. And this is not a very long-lasting fragrance unless you load up on it, and then it turns into a bit of a skin scent. But it lasts better than Lovestruck, I have to say. It lasts hours better than Lovestruck. It's also unoffensive. It's also good for any occasion, I believe. And it's an easy pick. I feel like if you don't know what to pick, you can pick this. This is not going to be a story. This is not going to be, you know, a journey with a perfume. It's just going to be nice. Now, what this smells of. This does have a scent of violets, but it's not violet powder like many of the perfumes have. It is sweet violets for sure. They're a bit candied. And there is this really lovely vanilla. Vanilla that is not quite synthetic. It is authentic, but it's baker's vanilla. This is not like a vanilla pod that you take and you grind between your fingers and then you get this raw vanilla scent that is just, you know, something different. It's like vanilla extract at the baker's shop. There is a freshness to this scent that is surprising and very, very pleasing. I think this scent is such a gem because it is an exceptionally versatile fragrance. You can wear it in summer, in winter, in spring, in the fall. It'll fit into your schedule in every way possible. It is not going to have its own personality. It's going to take on yours. It's pleasant, it's harmless, and it's adorable. So I think this is one to check out for people who are not looking for a signature fragrance, not looking for anything very out there, not looking for anything very unique or interesting, but looking for something pleasing, something worth the money, and something that is easy to use, easy to pick up, something that is not going to annoy people around them, is going to last decently, and it's going to be an office appropriate scent. Moreover, it's going to be a very versatile scent that you can use anytime and anywhere for any occasion. So I think violet could be worthwhile picking up depending on what it is that you're looking for. Next, I will speak of a very unusual one. This is also a bit of iris, a bit of violets. This is Love Chloe. Unfortunately, this little guy has been discontinued. This is my second bottle of this fragrance. Chloe is known for their florals, their fresh scents, fresh out of the shower. A bit like a disinfectant to me, some of them. Some of them more pleasing than others, but I also haven't found Chloe's that could be rattling my soul, personally. I do think they're pleasant perfumes, though. This one, however, is something else. It's a small other beast that isn't a usual Chloe scent. I was surprised to find this within their line. Surprised and pleased, and I thought maybe it's a turnaround point for Chloe and they're going to do something else, do something different, because this scent is a bit more niche. It's a bit more interesting and it's a bit more cool, creative. So let's see. The packaging. Of course, I have the 50 ml bottle. What an adorable, that is right up my alley. This is the kind of packaging that I personally do like, although I can appreciate, you know, all the cuteness, but personally I prefer something interesting and different and cool, but not necessarily cute. This is the kind of packaging I really adore. This is kind of streamlined but interesting with cool details, and it feels luxe. This 50 milliliter bottle comes with a gold edging around the bottom. It comes with a gold cap and a very delicate chain connecting the cap to the bottle itself. This fragrance is very long lasting on me, especially on clothes. I find it to be very, very long lasting. By very, very, I mean maybe 6 to 7 hours easy. It is a gem for persons that like cool, interesting, and unusual scents. Why do I say that? Because yes, it's purple florals. There's definitely violets there. I sense some iris and some woods. At the base, there's something a little bit sweet, but really just a hint. The star of this show is really the beautiful, beautiful rice note. It kind of tethers the fringe of being on the side of maybe boiled rice, when you just boil the rice just right in the rice cooker, and then you lift lift the top, and it wafts at you this like slightly wet, ricey, cooked smell. And maybe this is one facet of the scent, and the other facet of this note is really the Japanese rice powder. That maybe has some tapioca powder in it, maybe has some rice powder in it. It's a bit dusty, it smells like rice, but not really like the rice you eat, but the rice you maybe will, the beautiful geisha will sort of pat on her face in order to secure her beautiful geisha makeup. This is the kind of scent I get from this. It's very, very gentle. It's interesting, it has a personality, it doesn't scream at you, it talks to you. But this scent is the kind of girl who read Faust. This is the kind of girl who knows Kafka. This is the sort of lady who, you know, goes to modern art galleries. It's interesting. It's very modern, I would say. It's quite, has this niche feel to it, and has this quietly intelligent personality, I would say. It is very appropriate for anywhere. I would say maybe dates and parties I would exclude, but any other occasion I really don't see how this scent wouldn't fit in. It's such a versatile scent for being so interesting and unusual. Very, very impressed with it. I was very, very impressed with Chloe for having the guts to release something that doesn't smell like roses and shower, which is what most of their scents smell like. But unfortunately, this guy has been discontinued, which is a shame, shame, shame. I really hope Chloe will come up with something interesting again at some point, because clearly they have the capacity. Maybe they will utilize this capacity. Love Chloe, however, is for purchase online. If you're able to find it, it's a really, really, really great buy. That's it for today. I'll see you later. Have a nice, fragrant day. Put down below maybe what kind of fragrances you enjoy a lot, especially when it comes to fragrances that have either powder or violets in them, because most of the ones I mentioned today do. See you later. Bye-bye.